What's up, guys? My name is Jomel,
My name's Jarron Gaddis.
and we are the Wannabe Boo podcast, bringing the latest and greatest gaming anime news, reviews, and waifus for life. Welcome to episode 57.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah, well,
Welcome.
oh yeah, I don't know. I started doing it last week just to have become. We want to be more inclusive to our listeners, right? You know what I mean?
Normies.
I guess, well, not really normies, but if some normies happen to come by, that happen to swing on by to our podcast, then why not give them a taste of the wannabe Abu culture, right?
What's it called? What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. My brain turned off. That good old wannabe boo welcome mat.
Yeah, exactly. But we sort of have a lot to talk about to you guys about today. And it's also relating to normies as well. But before we do that, I want to do this before we forget.
Yeah.
If you guys have any questions, or you kind of want to talk about anything you want. I mean, at this point, I'm just kind of waiting for any kind of response. We just want to talk to you guys.
If you want us to talk about anime dicks the whole time, fucking we'll do it. Just something. Give us a little bit of. If you want us to give you like the I think we had a talk. We talked about it before, but like the normies guide to becoming a wannabe.
Do we have something like that?
Actually, no, fuck it. That's next episode. Normie's Guide to Being a Wannabe is going to be next episode. Look out for that.
There we go. Yeah. But in the meantime, where do you think they can find us around if they do want to talk to us?
Find us and talk to us on Facebook and Twitter. Just search Wannabeeboo. That's WAANNAABOO. Did I forget the BE? There's a B in there somewhere in the middle. Go ahead and slap that down to Twitter or Facebook. And if you want to listen to us, you can find us on YouTube, iHeartRadio, Listen Notes, iTunes, the Stitcher app, and anywhere else that might be hosting our RSS feed.
Yes, thank you very much. And if you guys want some good old merch, whether it's a hoodie, t-shirt, or even some socks,
you can also good old-fashioned Wannabe cum socks.
There you go. you can find the Wannabe swag over at teespring.com/ I think it's /wannabe. I don't know. The links will all be in the description down below, as well as our Patreon page, because we started doing the bonus content.
That's right.
A little bit
last
of an
couple episodes. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so far we have about 2 bonus content for those who are patrons of ours, and they've all been hot takes.
The first one was a hot take on was that the Vic Mignogna one?
Yes, the first one was a hot take on Vic Mignogna, and the second one was a hot take on the UN's decision to remove Loli and Shota in terms of that resurfacing out into the world.
Right.
So,
if you're a long-time listener, you might know our position, but we do dive a little bit deeper.
Yeah, exactly. But long story short, #hentai for all. If you do want to listen, if you do want to listen to that though, it's gonna be over on the Patreon page, and we fully accept your guys' support. I mean, we couldn't have done it with you guys anyway. Because as of right now, we're also at 1,400 total downloads as of right now.
Climbing that ladder.
Definitely, and I mean, I know now even though we're at 1,400, I was supposed to do a 1,000 total download special, right? And I actually did. Last week I actually uploaded a video on the WBA TV channel where I named every single hentai on myanimelist.net for 2 hours straight.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, all right, kudos to you, Jomel. Kudos to fucking you. I gotta figure something out.
Yeah,
I'm not sure yet because I don't have any creative anything.
I sort of figured it out. And I was actually quite surprised that the amount of hentai wasn't as big as I thought. It was still manageable to a degree, but Jesus Christ, I didn't realize sitting for 2 hours straight reciting the names of hentai is actually quite strenuous after a while.
Oh, it sure fucking is. You do literally see. There's one thing of sitting down and playing a video game for 2 hours. Time just goes by instantly.
Right.
Doing literally one thing, no, that's fucking awful.
With no music
But
in the background, no nothing. I'm over here irresponsibly pronouncing Japanese in my English native tongue.
as well as those fucking wild ass titles. Remember, I think we were looking around for weird titles. There was one was like Violent Semen Inferno or something like that.
Something like that. Oh my god.
That's
Oh
probably
my
my
gosh.
favorite one. Violent Semen Inferno. Look that one up.
Wow.
I mean, there's a lot of rape in it, but
Yeah.
it's a funny title nonetheless.
Please be of age when you are looking this up too.
Yeah,
Too.
don't be a child. Be
Ex-
a proper legal to vote, legal to go to war adult in America
there we go.
or whatever
Um,
state your state has for porn or whatever.
exactly. But if you want to sit through 2 hours of me reciting hentai like I did, then the link of that video will also be down in the description down below. I was quite happy. I named 1,262 different hentais in that one
There you go.
sitting, and that's how much appreciation I have for you guys. I sat through 2 hours of just mispronouncing Japanese Japanese porn names.
I mean, you're a hero to us all, Jomel.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like those 2 hours slowly killed part of my brain cells.
I don't know if I
So-
would have been able to come up with anything like that, to be honest.
Wow. I mean,
Honestly, not many people would.
I mean, Jarron, you could always name 1,000 animes on manime.net.
I could.
You could do that. Piggyback off of the trend I'm going here.
Yeah, but now it's not a surprise.
You're right. That's true. Wow. That's okay.
I'll
That's
figure it
okay.
out.
Jarron will figure it out. But what we do have to figure out is anime right now like, well, obviously anime right now is a lot more popular than it is, but is it mainstream though? Considered as of right now in 2019.
That's the big question. A lot of us old. I don't even know. Would we be considered old
Not,
in the
not
anime
really.
genre? Are we like
I think we're
still
like-
in our teenager years?
I mean, I think technically we're like young. We're like, what is it? We're like young veterans, because anime was only around since like what, the 70s.
Yeah.
That's when it first started around. So essentially, we're like we're the millennial age of anime viewers.
Is
So
that-
there's still Gen X. Yeah, there's the Gen Xers, and then there's us.
Well, I mean, like
There's only-
not necessarily in like. I don't mean in time watching. Well,
Because there's only
Okay,
two
yes.
generations. There's only two generations of anime viewers, technically. If you want to really go at it, time wise.
I mean not. Well, I didn't necessarily mean time wise. I mean, obviously, like you said, there's the I get the anime boomers.
Oh,
You
boomers
wanna
have to
call
be boomers have to be in the 40s though, technically.
Well, no, I'm saying the anime boomers, not baby boomers.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So
I'm-
it would be when anime started, first became even relatively popular among them, where
So-
it gained its American community.
so that's like what, during the Toonami era then?
No, a little bit before that.
Little
Like I'm talking about old Gundam era,
I mean, how old? Are you talking about like 70s or
like
80s?
Cowboy Bebop,
I think we're just like what, maybe late 80s, 90s,
late
early 90s?
80s, 90s. I mean, people don't get me wrong, people were into it beforehand, but I mean, it wasn't like a solid community until about late 90s.
That's true, yeah. And then that's also the same time when like Sailor Moon started becoming a little bit more known to
Right,
the West
right.
too. That kind of
Right.
like Moe and Magical Girl kind of stuff.
Right when we started getting that yellow fever.
Yeah, exactly. That's when the virus hit us. Jarron.
That's when the cancer started developing.
Exactly. See, if you look at this point right here, this is when we started to die.
Yep. It started with Duke Ferdinand's death, and now we're here.
Oh my god.
I love that meme so much. I mean, you can't deny it. You can't deny that.
I mean, I'm no historian, but I guess I won't doubt.
If
doubt
you
it.
don't know what I mean, basically Duke Ferdinand's death started the beginning of World War One, which
Right.
then led into two, which then we
Mhm.
bombed Japan, and then
Mhm.
Japan made anime, and now we have it.
So we're going way back. We're going
We're
way
going
back to the beginning.
way back.
Oh man.
Hell, you can even say maybe the opioid crisis. Fucking.
The opioid war. We had something like that, didn't we? Didn't we
Yeah,
have something like that? It was the opioid. It was the opioid crisis.
yeah. That was back when fucking America's like, hey fuckers, open the border. That was way back though. That was well before
Yeah.
World War
You know
One.
what? Actually, I think the opioid crisis is probably when they discovered hentai.
Yeah.
The West.
No, yeah, no, yeah, because they'd there was that one picture of like that old style Japanese art where it's like all like
Like
it's
weird.
it's like it's weird, but it's like it's
Yeah.
depicting real things, but they all look like I don't even know
Yeah.
how to explain it. I'm not using the correct words, but there was one where this octopus was diddling a woman, and
Yeah.
that was the first art. That was the first bit of like tentacle porn, and I was so proud to find it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't jerk off to it because it was
That's true. But you can sure bet that some guy was with an opioid pipe in his mouth.
oh yeah, oh yeah. No, they were hella into it. They were all about the art,
Definitely.
or at least the people that were under the emperor were the shogunate was like, hey, fuck you, obey the law.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you look clearly in some of these artworks, you can see the jittering of the paint lines where they came as they
Right.
profusing themselves over their own art.
Right.
Okay. I'm no art expert, but I am a man of culture. So
That's when it became mainstream, in like 18,
the Edo period. Is that what we're talking
the
about?
Edo period.
We're going
But
way
now,
back
today, in 2019, anime, I wouldn't say it's mainstream yet. It is.
It's widely accepted. I mean, well, actually, no, not widely accepted. It's more so.
I wouldn't even say widely accepted.
I think it's more so just it's more of an open conversation now for some reason. Like it's easier to talk to. It's easier to talk about nowadays.
I mean, yes, you're right. It's much easier than it was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I would say it's easier to talk about. I would say it's harder to talk about in the sense that like now that because remember I've said this twice now.
Mm-hmm.
Anime's fine and dandy when you're talking about stuff like Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, and all that stuff.
Right, all the
And
shonen
you
stuff.
start getting the fucking, second of Quasar, all the lolly bullshit, all that.
You start talking about free.
You get to weird shit. Then it's like, that's the parts you don't want the entire world to see because.
I mean, I feel like it's sort of like any hobby. It's kind of like talking about basketball. You can talk about the game.
Can't fuck people in basketball.
You can talk about the game and all that, but then when you start talking about stats and ALS injuries, that's when you start losing people.
Yeah, you lose them, but it's not like, oh yeah, Allen Iverson or whoever the fuck's popular now. God, I sound like a fucking. Anyway, whatever.
Are you trying to talk about sports? I don't think that's not gonna work, Jarron.
I can't. I tried to fake it, but I couldn't. I just couldn't.
You can't fake your sports bullshit.
I don't know a damn. Go sports ball. You might lose people because they don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
But it's not like, oh, they're talking about sports. They're fucking gross.
I mean,
you
maybe
start getting into anime like, oh yeah, those anime titties, or I love monster girls. My musume was a religious experience, and like, why? It's because the girls, and they have like instead of legs, they're a snake, and I'm like, wait, that's fucked up. And they're like,
I mean, I guess.
Oh,
I mean, it's kind of like if we're talking about anime and all that kind of stuff. I guess.
I mean, yeah. So it's not a comparison. It's literally like pulling out your fucking gross ass little brother that's just into it. Like, you don't introduce him to new people. He's just there.
It's like a growth you have, and you just don't want to show it until it's ready. Until people are ready.
Yeah, you hope he matures to the point where he can be his weeby self, but not in public.
Okay. Well, okay. Well, thinking about it like this. Did we talk about levels of kind of weebiness before? I don't know. We have.
We did. So there's the levels that we know of, and I guess you can incorporate certain levels that are kind of developed today. So again.
Yeah, because it's also I think we talked about the fan base. That's what we talked about, right? The different kind of fans.
Different kind of fans. So we all know, people that call themselves otaku. Though to be honest, not many people call themselves otaku these days. If you've noticed.
Well, no one in the West.
Well, yeah. People in the West have stopped calling themselves otakus.
Yeah.
But if you go by the classic scale, you have. Now, if we start from the light to the deep dank, you got the people that maybe know about it, maybe are a little interested, the normies.
Mm-hmm.
They don't watch it. They heard of it. Maybe they're the people that actually have girlfriends.
Mm-hmm.
Competent,
Yeah,
well,
that's
unless they're
true.
still socially awkward for whatever reason. But
Yeah,
that
I
that
mean,
just that just goes into that.
right.
But there's the normies. And then you have like you have the people that
The casuals.
have like the casuals. Then you have the casuals. Then you have the wannabe-aboos.
That's us.
That's us that are familiar, that are pretty familiar with it, but may not like. Oh yeah, I know
Yeah.
every voice actor from this anime. Then you have
Yeah.
the otakus that are like that and have watched anime for like fucking forever.
Mm-hmm.
And these are also the people that like. I'm calling you out a little bit, Jomel. Have figures and posters and shit everywhere.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm sort of in that territory as I look
You're you're
around
you're
and
you're, you're encroaching, but it's all right. Otaku's fine. You love your thing. And then there's actual weeaboo.
yeah, like the actual weeb.
Yeah, where you've renounced your own culture and you claim to be Japanese. If you're black,
Just-
you get a perm and you're just like wearing hoodies all the time and like ugh,
You start wearing fedoras and
start wearing fedoras and you got your swords and shit. Now don't get me wrong. I have a wooden sword somewhere fucking around. I don't remember where. Yeah, behind me. I got a fucking keyblade. But like I'm not.
You're not rocking it.
And like.
No, not just that, but you're not rocking it outside.
Right, you're not outside
like an
with your
edgelord.
fucking Akatsuki jacket.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
shit
Exactly. Like,
on the regular.
exactly. Those are kind of like you wear your Akatsuki jacket on the regular in terms of your outdoor wardrobe. Like
Right.
that's your weeb right there.
Right. And that's basically kind of what we have now. But I guess it's a little evolved. You can call it the casual spectrum is very wide now.
Yeah, that's true. Like there's a lot more casuals nowadays than there are like I guess hardcore otakus.
Right.
That kind of thing. And I mean, again, I feel like a lot of the spectrum has changed because like, and I personally have never experienced, bullying in a sense because I had the idea of like certain things become, the way they are because of like social norms and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And certain things also evolve over a certain time, but I've never really experienced any kind of social outcast because of my current hobbies or stuff like that.
Right. It's the whole nerd culture has become exactly what it is, a whole culture along with sports culture and shit like that. So it's hard to
Yeah.
denounce it because there's so many people in it. You'll easily get ganged up on immediately.
Yeah.
And
I mean, at
that
this point,
kind
if anything, at this point, it's more so like I feel like anime culture itself is becoming more of a level playing field with at least with the casuals. You know what I mean?
oh yeah, definitely,
Like,
definitely.
Having
So
the
it's-
addition, having the addition of of a lot more casuals levels of playing field that that compares up to like the sports hobbies or
Right.
like any other kind of hobbies like the physical activity ones or even gaming. Actually, gaming is actually not a good example of
Yeah,
that kind
that's
of
true.
transition.
That's absolutely true. Gaming definitely got larger. I guess larger way faster than than anime ever has or will.
Mm-hmm.
Because now it's it's an esport. It's literally a sport now. Or
Yeah.
we're trying to make it an official sport and put it in the Olympics. I believe it'll happen at some point, but
Yeah, but I mean, it's
time will tell.
yeah, exactly. I mean, that's a good that's a good example of something kind of niche becoming its own part of society. I guess you'd say.
Right. And anime is getting there again as the casual spectrum widens. Because
Mhm.
our casuals are the same kind of people that are like, yeah, I like going to basketball games. I don't know anything about it. I like my team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from Chicago. I like the Bears. Oh shit, hold on. I like the Cubs and I like the Bears and the Bulls.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, exactly.
but outside of that, I don't really care.
Mm-hmm.
Just,
I mean-
just enjoy it. That's it. That's literally what a casual sports fan can be equivalent to a casual anime fan. You like it. It's interesting. You watch a couple shows. Maybe
Mhm.
you got 50 shows. Is 50 shows too much for a casual? Maybe
no,
30.
No,
or
no, no,
20?
no. I think if you're below 100, if you're below 100, you're still casual. Because you're working. It's kind of like you're tasting your different genres. There's a lot because as we both know, there's a lot of anime out there. So I don't
There
blame
is.
you if you have to try 100 different ones to really get a feel for it.
Right, right, right.
So I really feel like if you watch below 100 anime, I think you're still in that casual spectrum just because you're trying it out and you're trying to like go. If anything, I feel like you're trying to go for every genre and trying to see where you land in terms of what you prefer. So that's where I stand on that.
I'm just saying, like, because I think about like so people that are just getting into it that were normies and they're starting to turn into casuals. So they start watching their My Hero Academias. Maybe they grew up a little bit on Dragon Ball Z,
Right.
stuff like that, where they never really branched out and they started to. So they got like 10 actual shows. Like if you watch all of My Hero Academia, that's
Right.
3 seasons of a show, or yeah, three seasons now. Is it 4 out?
Three.
Three, okay.
Wait,
Three
yeah,
that
three.
you've watched maybe all of Dragon Ball Z. Just watching all of Z I'd say is enough to firmly plant you in the casual spectrum.
Just what? I mean, just in the casual zone.
Think
Sure?
about how long Z is.
I mean, do you also want to count? Do you want to count? Fuck. What's the non-canon extension to that?
What, GT?
Yeah. Do you want to add GT to that as well?
I mean, I guess you could, but maybe now I'm thinking about it, maybe I'm wrong. Just watching one isn't maybe necessarily good enough. You would have to have dip your foot in everything to really say that. Yeah,
Yeah. Because I mean,
I've been around the block a little bit. I know a little bit.
because if you want to go with like the most popular kind of anime that most people will easily get into is shonen, right?
That is true. Yeah.
According to myanimelist.net,
uh-huh.
there's about 1,864 shonen series listed
Jesus
on here.
fucking Christ.
So I think that 100 is a good spot in terms of like casuality.
Mm-hmm.
So like after if you get past that, then you start to expand your horizon even more. Because again, if you're working off of just one type, you get like over 1,000, close to 2,000 different series to pick from. But if you're going past that, you're looking into different genres. Whether it's the shonen, the shoujo, or romance, even hentai for God's sake, or even just like school ecchi, sports, even if anything.
Yeah, I would argue there are a couple one-stop shops.
What do you mean by that?
They can get you get you onto the fast track to want to be able. I would argue that because there's some animes that most people just can't. Normal people just can't sit through and watch and then understand what it is without being like, this is weird, but I'm liking it.
Like Icon.
If you can sit through Icon and understand that it's supposed to be a joke while also enjoying the fact that there are big titties in front of you, I'd say you that's a big leap. It might not get you there, but it's a big leap.
You're promoted.
You can watch stuff like maybe you can sit through Shinji's bullshit and Evangelion, or maybe you can fully appreciate, like maybe you've seen when you were younger, you've seen it on TV or something. Maybe you've seen stuff that you like older anime, and then you watch Megalobox and like, I respect the art style. I feel it. If you are fully accepting of it, it's a bigger leap than just having the pure numbers. Because while you might not have the experience, you have the open mind to accept what anime is. I feel like just having the open mind to accept it sets you apart from people that absolutely need the extra shows to understand it. You know what I mean?
That's true. Like you just being exactly. Now branching out of that, the reason why I want to talk about it is because I had a coworker of mine. I'm gonna shout him out because he's the one that actually brought up the idea of mainstream anime. You can follow him on Twitter at bkai94. That's BKAI94. What's up, Brandon? Hope you're listening. You probably are, because you're a fan. I hope. One of the things that he brought up is like, is it a problem? Is having it becoming more accepted a problem for the genre itself, in a sense?
Yes.
Just flat out for you?
Yep. It is an absolute yes for me.
How so?
Examples. Shutting down lollies.
Oh, well, okay.
Look,
That's
we've said it
I don't know.
before.
I think I think there's a difference between meddling and then like having it be more known into the society.
it's good in the sense that as more people get into it, Japan will start getting more money. They'll be able to
Right.
fund better projects and stuff like that. So it's good for the industry for it to grow because
Right.
there'll be more customers.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it
You're
seems like
widening it. You're
right,
widening your audience base
right,
by literally countries at this point.
by literal countries. So it's good in that sense. But understand, half of anime is cool, half of it will be considered creepy. All right.
I mean, there are about 1,000 hentais out there.
There's
So.
about 1,000 hentais, and once you're in the community, you encompass the whole thing. It's all a part of it. If one part of with one thing of it goes away, it's not the same. People say, "Oh, I'm tired of moe anime," but if it was gone forever, you'd miss it. You'd at least miss hating it. You know,
No. Well,
it's
what's
it's.
what's the point you're trying to bring out here, though? I feel like.
I'm trying to say that while it's like two sides of the same coin. One's light, one's dark.
Mm-hmm.
Great for the light side, bad for the dark side. It's
So in this case, you would. So in this case, having anime a lot more accessible, as well as a lot more widely known to other people,
yeah,
it can start becoming. Well, actually, yeah, I think I get you. It can start becoming an issue if people start to meddle in the industry in terms of regulating it, right?
regulating, right? Because again, people are becoming way more sensitive to things, and like I can't fault them for it because certainly some stuff in real life is wrong, but like when you start attacking things that people that aren't real, not necessarily offending anyone. I don't know. It's just, I mean, maybe I can't even say that it's not offending anyone because I'm not
Mm-hmm.
the subject of what might be, blah blah blah, whatever that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it starts to get to this weird, uneasy, please leave it alone idea, where it's like, yay, it's great that it's growing, but stop looking at it because you're ruining it.
That's true. It's kind of like
Cause,
if your grandma just started talking to you about hentai.
right,
It's
exactly. It's fucking weird. We don't want you to start like, well, this is wrong because
or even
High
just like
School
that.
DxD is a great anime. It doesn't need all the titties, and I'm like, you're fucking wrong, Grandma. It needs the titties.
Well,
It's a part of it.
what if it was the opposite? What if it was the opposite sense? In a sense where like it's becoming more and more known, and a lot more people are talking about it. Where instead of your grandma criticizing you about it, it's more so your grandma raving about it as much as you
That's
are.
works too.
They see
And
them
for a different
titties.
reason, not for an actual bad reason, but like it's worse for because like God, it's like God, Grandma.
You see them titties,
know.
son.
Exactly. Then it becomes awkward because it's just awkward, not because it's.
I mean, is it really a bad thing though? Because one of the, like in really because I know we want to talk. I know the one bad side about having more mainstream is the meddling and the regulation of it. But going backtracking a little bit and kind of going on the lighter side of it, having it be like more accessible to like and like different kind of like stores or like clothing stores, shoes, even like some like name brand shoes or even celebrities, for example. Like we had a discussion about a year ago where Kim Kardashian was a fan of 02 because she had pink hair, that kind of stuff. Or you have like Michael B. Jordan saying that he one of his openly talked about how one of his favorite shows like he likes to watch is Naruto, that kind of stuff.
And then he literally modeled his fucking outfit from Black Panther off of Vegeta. Like that kind of stuff is great. No, I'm not saying that it's bad that it's becoming recognized in the positive. Like I love that it's spreading that way because there's more people to talk to about it, more people to look up to it. Fucking Samuel Jackson literally went public and said, "Yeah, I like anime and hentai too." You don't know how special that felt to me that Samuel Jackson, motherfucker, likes hentai.
So what
Like,
you're trying to say?
come on now.
So what you're
It's
trying to say is
great,
having it
becomes
exposed
a
like this is a good
problem
thing.
when the law, like people that are tight ass get a part of it. Because for example, Goblin Slayer. All right, first
Okay.
episode controversial. Why? Because there was a rape scene.
You didn't even
If it was
see it
as
too.
regulated as it was as regular TV, that would not happen ever. Problem with. Like I get it that
I don't know. I feel like
it's not for
HBO is
all
sort of on that.
audiences,
I feel like
but
HBO
then
would have been
you'll
able to handle that.
HBO would be fine with it because fucking Game of Thrones is a whole fuck
Right.
fest, literally.
Exactly.
So
Just give anime to HBO. That's they're fine.
right. Well, it can stay with Netflix. They're fine.
They have Berserk.
They have practically softcore porn on there. So I mean, I'm fine with like
Yeah,
places,
that's true.
Netflix, HBO, and similar stuff. It's just like I there's so many subjects in anime because anime touches literally everything:
Mm-hmm.
war, rape, incest, fucking the willpower to do anything, crushing defeat, stuff like that. It literally covers so much that the people that don't want to see all of it or want everyone to see all of it will do everything they can to make sure those parts are hidden away. And I get it, keep it from children because they're not ready to understand it yet. I get that, but like, I don't want it to be where it's like, it's just so hard to find something. Then again, maybe I'm bullshitting. Maybe like you said, with Netflix and HBO, places like that, there'll be a home for where you can go and grab it for with no difficulty. So maybe I'm bullshitting and worrying about nothing.
I
But
mean, no,
I
it's
don't
a,
know.
you got you've got a pretty solid understanding because I feel like when asked about this specific kind of question, I feel like you're going at like the worst case scenario in this case because
Yeah, I
talking
am.
about like people that have no business getting into anime regulating it. That's what you're trying
Right.
to like say, right?
Right.
Obviously,
Right.
yeah. I also am openly spoken about. If you have no business, getting into anime, then you have no business trying to regulate it. I'm talking to you, UN. Say out my fucking hentai. You might get rid of Loli and Shota, but what's next? Tentacles, big tits. We getting rid of B Sally now. What if I want to see a pig fuck a milf? Are you gonna stop me then? No, because hentai is for everybody, even if certain tags and demographics are
But
not.
it's a depiction, a picture of a horse being some whatever reason.
Yes, of course. This is a depiction of a greasy, fat bastard defiling someone's housewife. Netto rare. I mean, if anything, get rid of netto rare. But
Yeah, no, that's I don't care what legal bullshit you have to go through. Get rid of this. Fucking throw that entire concept to the sun. But like,
But no, I get you. I get the whole, because in a sense, I like how you're looking at it as a whole, as a big picture kind of thing.
mhm.
Because even the little things, you have like the celebrities or even like stores are having it more access. But when you talk about like the big reality of like having this medium becoming a lot more noticeable, especially in the political side of you, like do you remember back then and during it was during the Trump election, there was an article about like what is it, if you're a Trump supporter, if you fap to anime
Oh, I'm gonna tell you
characters.
that
I don't know if that
now,
was
that
that
that was
fake?
a troll. That was fake. That was
Was it a troll?
100% just bullshitting you.
Okay, because it
That was
wasn't the Onion, which I was expecting. It wasn't that, and I thought it was,
I mean, there's a couple that do it. I remember I saw that article floating around
Mhm.
recently on Facebook.
Oh,
So I mean,
wow.
it's a meme. That's not.
Yeah.
Real. But I
Okay,
mean,
that's good.
there's
But in terms of like, I kind of want to talk about the what is it the social aspect of anime. So like,
well,
less political, kind of like, you got Joe over there. He's wearing a One Piece T-shirt, but all he's seen is One Piece, that kind of thing, all he's ever seen is One Piece. He knows about the whole genre, but he's only seen One Piece and wears a One Piece T-shirt, that kind of thing. That's not necessarily
that's not a bad
bad
thing. That's a
thing.
good
Yeah.
thing because
It's like
it's great that people rep the show they like. For example, not everyone likes how many shows out there are like The Office. You
like
got
anime or like actual
or
like
just
shows.
actual TV shows. So you got The Office, you got Parks and Rec, you got Community, you got like what else would you say? Where
Fresh
it's
Off the Boat.
literally just kind of like
Oh no, like
the
like a
new brand of
sitcom.
sitcom.
Oh, okay, right.
And there's tons of shows like that, and not everyone likes all of them. Some people just like The Office, and that's
Right.
fine. You know, it's fine that if you like one thing, you like the one thing. No, I'm never gonna fault anyone. I'm gonna shit on you because it's just fun to shit on people in the same community. But again, it's the pre-understood understanding that we shit on you
Mm-hmm.
because we love you.
It's like a what is it? It's a welcoming package, right?
Yeah, it's like that slap on the ass in the locker room.
Exactly. Like
It's to mess with you a little bit, but it's like hey, we're here.
exactly. Everyone's waifu shit. Everyone's waifu's trash.
Exactly. Everyone's wife who should accept mine.
Exactly.
Fuck you.
That's how our world works.
Right. Exactly.
But it's all in good fun, in a sense.
There's the pre. Most people, I should say, have the pre-understanding. Some people get too serious about it,
That's true. I
but
would
some, yeah,
more than I would hope. Kind of thing.
yeah. I mean, yeah, but I want to say that the more maybe I can't even say majority. I don't know. I've never done a poll or anything, and I'm subscribed to a couple hell groups on Facebook, and they're a cesspool of bullshit. But again, it's
I don't think
understood.
you find casuals or normies in those hell pages, Jarron.
Yeah, no, that's
That's different.
That definitely
That's one of Bebo tier right there. At the very
want to
least.
be booting up.
Yeah. You need to make an
But
official poll of this, or like no, an official like tier list of all this.
right, but I mean, it's stuff like that where it's like we mess with each other, but we understand. But to the new person coming into anime, it's perfectly fine to just like your one thing and never touch any other show. That's fine. What's not acceptable, I mean, we talked about elitism before. Don't shit on people just because they like one show. Don't be like, oh, you can't call yourself an anime fan because you don't like everything. Like you
you're
can be a
elitist.
fan.
Don't be an elitist.
Right, don't be elitist. You can still be a fan. We won't ever. You can call yourself a fan. Anyone at any tier can call themselves a fan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't assign official titles. You got to take it to the council before you can fucking start assigning titles.
According to who then? Who's the council then?
Everyone that one
Every
of you
anime-
moving up for the council.
every anime podcast. That's like what, 3?
There's a couple. There's more than 3.
Is there? I only know 2, and then there's us.
There's some out there.
Are there? Okay, I have to look into them.
Yeah, but it's like maybe that's elitism in itself. But like you can call yourself a sports fan and only ever watch
Basketball.
only ever watch basketball, one team in maybe like 1 or 2 other games out of the year. You can still call yourself a sports fan. Are you really a sports fan? No. But like, no one should be able to take that away from you because you
That's
like
true.
it, you enjoy it. It's something you all enjoy. Maybe they'll learn more about it. Maybe they won't. Who fucking cares?
Yeah, no one should shit you for that. Right?
Like I said, it's the same thing with anime. Like your One Piece, love it. Watch every single goddamn episode. Hell, maybe you watched the first season with its shitty ass animation, and now
Before
you're
the
like,
time
oh, I
skip.
love One Piece, but then actually, I don't know. Maybe that's the problem.
What?
Where you say, yeah, I love this anime, but then you never finished it. But then I say I like anime, and then I never finished it. I like One Piece, but I'm not caught up with it.
Maybe One Piece is a bad example.
Watch
Death Note.
maybe, am I getting elitist again?
I don't think you're
Something.
Well, I mean,
Pokemon Hero Academia, and you've only watched one season, that's fine. You can't just say you like it and you only watch the first 5 episodes of the first season.
Wait, you can't say you like it, or you can't say you're a fan of it.
You can't. I mean, are you a fan if you've only watched 5 episodes of 3 seasons?
You can become a fan, that kind of thing. Like, oh, I'm starting to get into it, and I may become a fan, kind of thing. Like getting your feet wet and working your way up to that. Break it down is that it's not a bad thing, right? It's not at all is it a bad thing for it to become more
be a bad thing.
socially acceptable. I think it's only a because where the concern is, it's kind of like it's a niche thing, and it's sort of like it's been your own thing for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and as more people start getting into it, that shouldn't be the problem, right? You shouldn't be, I guess, how poor way to say it, but you shouldn't be selfish with your own hobbies. You should be open to sharing sharing your knowledge, as well as even getting yourself involved in other people
Right.
getting into the community, right?
Well, yes.
Because I guess a good example is the whole, like, what is it? Japan closing off their borders and the U.S. opening them up. In a sense, you don't want to close off your borders. You want people to really understand. You want people to, like, understand the culture itself. So
Right.
instead of trying to limiting the amount of access to it, why not open the gates and
Mm.
give them what they want a little bit, give them some options, and then whatever sticks, they're fully welcome to, like, come back and get another share, or just
Right.
talk about even more, and you can even provide some more recommendations, different kind of recommendation from different
Right.
genres.
Right. Of
I mean,
course.
I think the whole thing is that, it was a niche thing because there wasn't a lot of us, right? There wasn't a lot of us
Right.
that was open about the hobby.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing that it's become less niche, because it's becoming a lot more widely accepted to talk about, or at least it's a lot more welcoming to talk about, in a
Mm-hmm.
sense, socially at least. But again, you have to have your different levels, because, like what Jarron said, you can't just start talking about fucking Icon tits when they've only seen 2 shows.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can. Like, I will have a full on conversation with you
I
about
mean,
Icon.
depends how they'll take
and
it, though. Everyone's different. You can't just kind of, like, bam smack them with, like, fucking H-sized tits and say, "Welcome to the club." you know, you kind of need to ease their way. Show them a little bit of High School DxD and maybe some Psychon no Quasar. And
I
then,
mean, you have to go a little lighter than that. That's still throwing him into the deep end. Like, Icon's bad, but like,
all right, fine, High School of the Dead.
Quasar is like on that level.
How about High School of the Dead then?
High School of the Dead is still a little farther. You think you would to get into like a good taste of ecchi? I'd say you need to hit like something real low tier, like fucking
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, no. Better than that. What if there was a system on how you would introduce someone to anime, like based on genres, not by shows?
shonen would definitely be the beginning of it. At the
Yeah,
very
either
shonen
or
and
action.
shoujo. It's,
Shonen,
you know,
shoujo, and action. One of those
Yeah.
three.
yeah, it's easy to do. Hey, here's a romance story. Hey, here's an action story. It's
You got your one kid trying to be the best.
Simple to understand, right?
Yeah, you got one guy trying to be the best, and he gets better as he goes.
Right. So those are always your opening.
Now, when do you start introducing them to ecchi? What's the required? What do you think they would need to need to experience in terms to get into, like, what's a low tier ecchi?
Why is that so hard to think about? There are there.
You think Televeru is a low tier ecchi, or is that mid tier?
No, that's Televeru for real.
Yeah. Well,
Mister,
first season.
I'd fallen in your panties every fucking episode.
Oh, before the dramatic art style
Rosario
changes.
Vampire is a low tier.
Actually, yeah, you're right. Rosario Vampire. That was one of my first few ecchis back in the day.
Now, not saying that it's a low tier anime. It's a low tier on the edgy spectrum, where it's pervy, but it's not like
not tits in your face kind of
not,
pervy.
not the entire anime hinges on you sucking her titties kind of.
Exactly.
God, anime is so fucking. When you say it, or when you say it, it's so fucking. Anyway.
I mean, this is
how you can show the entire world, because you're like, what the fuck?
I mean, how would you introduce your grandma to anime, Jarron? That's
I'd show them what's it fucking Toradora.
You think so, Toradora?
Toradora's a good one. Toradora, it's a simple. It introduces you to the idea of.
I don't know about simple though. I don't know about simple. It seems it's a little. I won't say veteran, but it's pretty heavy when it comes to exposition and a little bit of, like, I mean, maybe this is just me, because I feel like Toradora is more so like, you're sort of you got a good feeling of where you are in the culture, but not to a point where, like, you can start getting attached to characters. You know what I mean?
Maybe that's one of those ones where it's like a.
Because you also have to recognize
break in where it's like you've got a little bit under your belt, now you're ready to fully dive in and feel it.
Because there's also you have to I mean, I feel like you also have to consider good quality voice acting as well, and how that impacts a viewing experience.
That would now that reminds me of the voice acting. Then now you got
Oh
The
yeah, dub
fight
and sub.
between dubs versus subs is gonna grow even larger. And people
Oh
say
yeah,
it's a stupid fight. Let people watch what they want. But remember what I said. It's fun to shit on each other. You watch what you want. Fuck it.
that's
I
true.
don't give a shit. I'll
What
just
is the
always think that
what
subs
is
are
the
better.
what is the dub sub argument with newbies?
It's whether they're lazy or not. I'm sorry, but yeah,
Actually,
it's whether you're lazy or not.
no, you're right. You're fucking right. I can contest on that just because like what me, my first experience with sub was probably Naruto, only because like I couldn't wait for Naruto to
Right.
get dubbed, so I had to watch it in sub, and that's when I learned to fucking read and look at
Right.
visuals as time progressed. You know.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I'd say I'm similar in that idea. In fact, I don't even know when absolutely fell into subs, but I remember, I used to be that Toonami kid, like, oh yeah, like, you're watching Naruto in English, you Bleach, fucking
Mm-hmm.
Rurouni Kenshin, shit like that. It's all in English. Inuyasha, all that's in English, and it's
Well,
great.
maybe just not just that. I think because we were also spoiled of actually good dubbing casting too.
That's so true. Modern,
Because back in the day
uh,
they had some really good voice acting. I felt, I
so
mean,
good. It was so good.
Death Note was a good one.
Oh yeah,
Even Rekka 7 back in the day when I was on Toonami.
yeah.
Cowboy Bebop, Big O for God's sake.
There you go. Fucking Samurai Champloo.
Yeah, Samurai Champloo, and even Inuyasha. Maybe I don't know about anyone else, but I thoroughly enjoyed.
Oh yeah.
I have fucking the Inuyasha cast, dubbing cast ingrained into my soul.
I mean, they were just so good, and like, unfortunately, newer unless they go back and watch those shows, they're never gonna be able to.
Even Code
I would
Geass,
honestly say the golden age of English dubbing for anime was literally all those like
the Toonami specials.
the Toonami specials where they were fucking good. And then people
Yeah.
say, "Oh yeah, Four Kids ruined like One Piece." Like before Four Kids fully took over, that original voice cast where like did sound like he did in the current Japanese
Mm-hmm.
version.
Yeah, I
Sanji
remember
had that
that.
weird like nasally voice that I don't know personally that just made him sound real unique. Usopp
Mm-hmm.
had that all that shakiness in his voice. I loved it. I adored it. In fact, when I read One Piece, I literally imagine them speaking in those voices. I to this day, like I don't get me wrong, I like the Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I've watched it, but like I still prefer the English dub from back then. I
Right. I
absolutely
mean,
adore it.
and also me, I think, and I don't know if it's the same for anyone else, but I also liked. If anything, I think I preferred the English dub for Yu-Gi-Oh back in the day.
Oh yeah, definitely. Fucking Yami was the shit in English. Like
Yeah.
he was that was he was super good. I wish he was like an actual like narrator. The same
Yeah.
way we looked him up last podcast. What's his face is for
From Love Is War.
Love is War, yeah.
Yeah.
He
Or even
sounds
Joey.
so good.
Joey was fucking great in the dub.
Get him, Yugi! Oh my god, he was perfect. Where are those people? What happened to them?
Four
Like
Kids took
none
their
of the
souls.
girls were overacted. Fucking Kagome, she sounded perfect. Like she wasn't like, you know, she was.
She wasn't
just,
over mollified, you know what I
she
mean?
was wasn't over mollified. And then even when we had a moe character like Radical Ed from Cowboy Bebop, it was still,
It worked.
it was bearable. It was high pitched, but it wasn't like too much.
Mm-hmm.
It's I don't know. I'm so upset that people getting into anime now won't be able to grow up with that, have those expectations. Actually, you know what? That's why we say dubbing sucks now. That we officially get to say dubbing sucks now. Fuck all you people like, oh, English dubs actually sounds better.
Because we had the experience.
Because
We experienced the golden age of
we know
dubbing.
what was good. We know this shit now. I mean, Victor Mignogna's, whatever happens with this whole case, he's out of work. It's sad. He might be a piece of shit, but his work was golden. He is a great voice actor. It's just he's
Mhm.
the person behind the voice is possibly bad. That's the thing. He's still iconic. Fucking Edward from
Full Metal.
Full Metal and what's his fuck from Orin High School Host Club.
Yeah.
Like they are he's part of the old
The
the
gold
old
age.
guard,
gold-
the golden age of English dubbing.
Yeah.
And I just wish there were people with his skill today. I mean, there are people good, like for example, what's his face from
All Might.
Yeah, All Might. His voice actor is really good. He plays it perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
I know what's her face returned for Fooly Cooley.
Well, I mean, but she's like, she's an oldie. I feel like,
She's an Oli, right? But like, where
yeah.
are the new people?
Well, I mean,
All Might.
where's the training? Where's the training going? You know what I mean? You gotta step up that training.
You gotta do whatever you did to produce this All Might dude. Come on now. I mean, where's the people that voiced American cartoons? Where's the Aangs, the Katars? Where's the fucking Robins?
No, you're right.
The
You're fucking right.
Zuko's voice actor is so good. He's so good.
Or even more modern shows, Voltron.
Voltron or what else? What other cartoons out there? Fucking, you can literally whoever the hell voices characters from like Gumball and Steven Universe and stuff like that. Like, they're good. Like, they play cartoon characters. They're supposed to act it. They're supposed to overact the same way Japanese people do, and it works with those. Why don't we just translate that to fucking anime? It'd be so easy, but we just don't. We just get all these people that sound goofy, you know?
I think what I think we need. We need some wannabe boos, and we need some wannabe boos to start casting for roles.
Right? No,
That's what we need.
Well, I'm pretty sure like people that maybe I can't say I'm pretty sure because I don't know, but the people that voice Steven Universe. I remember I've read a couple articles behind that. Everyone that worked on it were fans of anime. That's why a lot of stuff from in Steven Universe is like, sometimes anime inspired, or in fact, there was a entire literal episode. There was a scene, fucking animated by Trigger. In both Steven Universe and in Gumball.
I heard about that. Yeah.
Like, you don't know oh my god, like, I used to hate Gumball until I heard that. I'm like, hold on, maybe I should check that out. Trigger's looking into it. Big boys. That's another part of the mainstream. Fucking Japanese animators start dipping and diving into American cartoons. If you told me Trigger was gonna animate the next fucking DC animated movie, I would literally shit myself. Like,
like in partnership with Trigger, you're like, holy shit!
Oh my god!
You just come right there.
See, that's part of the good stuff about it. Coming over. It's like, as things become more popular, the animation styles start to meld, and it's like, it just, like, the new generation of casuals and wannabes and what have you, they get a lot, but the bad part about it spreading now is that they don't get the experience of its growing pains, because we got the bullying from people that didn't know what anime was. We got the golden age of English voice acting. We got, we had to develop our community.
We had to watch Naruto in 3 different parts on YouTube at 480p.
Right, 480p. And we, in the last podcast we were with Steven, where I was like, yeah, that's the golden age. That's the gritty. That's how you know you're a true fan, when you're just sitting there fucking dodging the YouTube algorithm trying to watch your Naruto. That's what it's about.
Back when streaming sites weren't even a thing, This is before Crunchyroll, before Netflix, before streaming on anime was even a thing in general.
Back when your internet was so fucking bad and you were trying to watch fucking Zero no Tsukaima, or the Familiar Zero, and every 10 seconds it would just stop and then load and then stop and then load, because it was on a shitty player, and I'm like,
see, I had a system. Back then. I used a system for years back in the day where I would just I would preload 3 episodes that I know I would want to watch, and just go downstairs and eat dinner. And by the time I knew by the time I was done, it'd be fucking ready for me to watch.
Fucking same. I would do that and go play video games or something until it was ready. I remember those days.
So what you're trying to say is that. So they're pretty much like spoiled now in a sense.
Yeah, maybe yeah, they're definitely spoiled, but kudos to them that they get to be born into the age where they don't have to struggle or climb through the trenches.
Exactly. If anything, I think we should instead of trying to give them the old head speech, I feel like we should encourage them to like really. I think because of all that too, the accessibility, where people are actually able to access it as easily nowadays. And I feel like we should help guide them to, as to good fans.
No,
You know, like I don't. I mean, I don't know. I honestly don't know where elitism even like started coming out of, even
Well, I mean,
during the golden
that's
age.
like a human thing. That's just hey, I'm better than you, survival, blah blah blah, whatever.
Maybe it might be an instinctual thing over time,
Yeah.
but
But
I
again,
feel
we're
like,
not animals. We can beat it.
but stuff like this, I feel like I won't say it's an obligation, but I feel like we it would benefit everyone if we were to like guide them in that direction. So this is why
yeah,
I think like having anime becoming a lot more accessible, it's a good thing because we can actually people like us like wannabees that are we'll shit talk you, but we're pretty much golden hearted when it comes to like our recommendations as well as like our actual thoughts of the community and the industry. We're here to help you, and I would actually encourage anyone wanna be even above to like welcome any newcomers that want to explore the culture, even if it's starting off with like Naruto or DBZ, that kind of, because what is it, it's like you said before, everyone can be a fan. There's no such thing as a quote unquote real fan. It's more so just being able to have as much fun of an experience with everyone in your fandom.
Right.
So I think as long as because I can sort of understand the elite niche mentality of it. Where it was like it was my thing back in the day. Now we got people coming in here like it's nilly dilly. You're right, but it's a good change for the better. It's a change for the better.
Again, we're old. We
we've been around the block. We should we want to appreciate we appreciate what the development of everything that's happened up until now.
It's when you experience a situation like this that you understand what your like parents are saying. Like, yeah, we tried to set up the world for you, blah blah blah, all that stuff. Like, all right, now I kind of get it because I literally described the exact same thing they kind of went through, where like they had to set up as they came up, we had to fucking lost my train of thought. As it came up, they had to try to mold the world so that it's better for their children. We basically similarly, we don't physically do it, but same idea.
Actually, I don't know. I feel like I want to argue that. I feel like people in our generation helped mold the fucking anime industry as it is now in terms of like accessibility.
That's what I'm saying. We helped it come up, not necessarily physically where we literally made anime, but like like made the community, made it more popular and stuff like that.
Yeah, or even like the software. Like I don't know who the people that created the streaming service, but I feel like they're like around our age. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. They're in their like late 20s, early 30s and 40s. But
it was
and stuff like that.
It was our generation. It was our generation that helped build that foundation for newcomers to not have a hard time. Oh my god, we are giving the old head speech right now, aren't we?
I know, we're anime old heads. That's what we are. Like,
oh,
I think it's the perfect word for it. The anime boomers.
The anime boomer. That is true. Though despite that name, we shouldn't be
like the actual baby boomers.
Yeah,
like, you ruined the.
I don't think we should ridicule. We should ridicule newcomers coming in. You know what I mean?
Right. We should try not to, because I know, again, like I said, people tend to do it. It's just something in us. People make us shitty sometimes.
I mean, I get it. It's
remember that
It used to be. It was special to us because of the hard times, but it doesn't mean it's not any more special now.
Right. Exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how other people feel, but I mean, I think Jarron was pretty vocal about Kim Kardashian liking 02, but
Right. I didn't like it because I didn't think she was like I didn't think she was a real fan.
Your
elitism
is showing, Jarron.
I know it's showing, and I'm trying to be better. It's hard. I get it. Like I fully understand.
Jarron, we should welcome people like Kim Kardashian into our community. You like colored hair? Well, let me give you some. You like pink hair? Well, give you Yuno. Here's Yuno. She's a crazy bitch.
Makes my skin crawl to think about it. But
is that your read speak?
Yeah, it's that's the inner weeb trying to fucking fight.
I mean, I think the perfect example for something like this in terms of evolution would probably be Pokemon. In a sense. Like, well, the growing popularity of coming from the games as well as the show itself. going into the West and literally having communities of it, and as well as like with the production of new products and all that stuff that was driven by fans of it. We're at a point right now where I'm sharing the same kind of Pokemon Go experience
Mm.
with someone who's like 3 times my age.
I also remember like I was ringing someone up at Staples, and like this older lady, easily in her like maybe early 40s, mid to
Mm-hmm.
mid to early to mid 40s, was playing Pokemon Go. And I'm like, what's happening?
Exactly. I think that's where we should go towards. Like, no pun intended, but like I feel like that's where we should head towards because obviously there are people that are more invested, trying to
Oh
catch
yeah, right.
shinies and stats and all that stuff. But you have like Miss Johnson down the street happily catching Pikachu's because it helps her get through her morning block walk or something,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something to like talk about with her grandkids or something. But it's a way that itself was a way to bring a lot of people together, and I think that's where anime should go towards, literally where you can be 3 to 5 different generations of people, but you all like and are fans of the same thing, and which I personally believe that's really beautiful to like to see
It is
in
beautiful.
fruition, and without the toxicity or even the elitism, just being able to enjoy whatever it is you're all gathering here for, and wholeheartedly, wholesomely.
Right. As long as Kim Kardashian doesn't join our community, I'm fine.
How about Kanye? No Kanye.
Kanye's fine.
I mean, yeah, Kim and Kanye are sort of a package deal right now.
I
But,
don't like. I don't dislike Kanye. I think he's weird as shit. He has mental problems. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure. But like, join the fucking. Have you seen Weebs? Like, you want to talk about mental problems? Like,
uh, I
there's
mean,
some people in our community
well,
that
I think
need to hold on
I
to their bottle of
reality
medication.
or that too. Well, Jerron, I think that's also where we should kind of help people out too. They shouldn't go full weeb. You think? I don't know. You think that should be something to help that we should also
Never
help
go
guide?
full weave, because here's the
Yeah.
thing. Here's the thing. The equivalent of going full weeb in the normal world is like, the a sport fan that would like always walk around half covered in paint with their fucking, you know, heads on their foam fingers, just walking around normally all the time, every day.
That or just wearing like the jersey of the team that they
Well,
like
no,
every day.
well, no. Here's the thing:
No. Okay.
jerseys are still accepted. So,
Okay.
for example, like for example, right now I'm wearing a Dark Souls shirt where it's Sunbro doing a pose. You're just wearing an anime shirt, fine, whatever. As long as it's not like,
Tits. Ahiko.
as long as it's not the Agahiko shirt, you fucking degenerates. Um, regular One Piece, whatever shirts, fine. Because I see people walking into Staples and that kind of stuff all the time. Dragon Ball Z stuff, Kingdom Hearts stuff, that's perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's when you start fucking getting your Akatsuki shit and walking around, I'm like, all right,
With the headband and everything.
chill out. But every fandom has a chill out,
That's true.
If you're even military has a chill out. It's like, all right, so
Oh yeah, you mean like those, like what is it? Those the people the military people that take themselves way too seriously out in the civilian world.
Well, I mean, you should, but like, there's wearing your camo, because you see people walking around in that normally. But if you're fucking got your book bag, your helmet, your goggles, your fucking, you're looking like you're about to fucking fight a war, literally in the street. Like, come on now, what are you doing? If you're in training, fine, whatever you're doing. By all means, I'm not a military person. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe there's a legitimate reason why you'd be walking around in full helmet, boots, backpack, all the gear and shit. Maybe there's a legitimate reason, but until I understand that reason, I feel like there's to be some chill. That's just my opinion on that. But then, like I said, there's a level of chill in every fandom that you just need to calm down, keep it contained. When you're around, when the situation calls for it, by all means.
Yeah, it's kind of like wearing
But,
cosplay
like,
in public. You don't do that without a con being within a 50-mile radius of you.
Cosplay
Right?
gear at the cons and at home.
Well, cosplay in general.
Yeah, then they.
Oh, cosplay, like cosplay in public.
So yeah, cosplay in public is
Kind of like that. Like it's kind of like you don't wear cosplay in public. You kind of want you unless there's a con within a 50 mile radius.
Or it's
You
like
don't.
low cosplay.
What's that? What
Like
do you mean?
I have a friend that that regularly wears like the kind of like gothic Lolita kind of style outfits.
Like dresses or like
Like the dresses, the boots, stuff like that, the stuff like that. And it's like if you're rocking it as a style and it's like super duper flamboyant, I mean, really, anybody that wears something that's like, oh my god, like, were you trying to draw in the entire universe with what you're wearing? Like,
that's straight. I mean, I don't
let's
like
chill.
you
I
should
mean, granted,
you
you can wear
shouldn't be
whatever
walking.
you want, but I'm also
Yeah.
subject to judge you however I want.
It's kind of like walking around like you're in Paris Fashion Week. You know, you got a giant
Unless
comforter
I
on.
physically try to do something, but again, gets law, blah blah blah, all that stuff, and I'm not gonna try to impede upon your liberty to wear what you want, but understand that I'm going to judge you. Like, you can't stop me from doing that.
That's true. It's kind of
And
like
that's just what I'm saying. Low cosplay, where you're just if you wanna look like Luffy, you're walking around with your straw hat and sandals, fine, because
and
it's
just a
not
vest
too
on.
hard to pull off the Luffy look. You wanna fucking walk around like Kirito, you can't have the swords, but if you're walking around in a little trench coat and
I mean, unless
all black, fine.
I mean, if you're in Texas, maybe. I mean, if you're in Texas, you can probably carry it around Texas. You know what I mean?
I guess, but Texas is a whole nother fucking world. Fucking yeehaw state, number one.
That's true.
They're not even real at this point.
Oh yeah, or like, I mean, I guess a good way to also put it out. It's kind of like the. How do I say this? I don't know. Don't be cringy in a sense, but we've been going on for a while now, guys. But before we go, just, if you guys, what do you guys think? What do you guys think about the whole thing of anime becoming a lot more mainstream, a lot more accessible to the public, a lot of it being more socially acceptable? Hit us up on our social medias. We got that. You guys got that from the beginning. I want to thank you again, Brandon, for suggesting this topic for us. Remember to follow him on Twitter at bkai94. So his link will be down in the description down below.
And I also want to thank all the normies and casuals starting to get into anime these days. Now, I might call you a normie or a casual. Don't take it as an offense if you think you're something else, because we know what you are. There's no point in fighting it.
That's true. Let senpai take care of you.
Let senpai take care of it. We got you. Don't worry. You're in no trouble. We appreciate the fact that you're here and you're trying to watch anime, and I'm not trying to condescend on you. I'm just saying, it's great, but don't try to act like you're big dick stuff just because you watched all the One Piece and I didn't. I still have fucking 300 hours, more than 300 hours worth of anime logged into my anime account. You don't got shit on me. Sorry, my mutism slipped out.
But. As always, guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading us. As of right now, we are past 1,400 total downloads, and if we get to 2,000, we'll let you guys know. But we want to thank you guys for your support, and to remember to always check in on us, and we'll check in on you. That's probably a really bad thing. I don't know what I was trying to say.
I don't know how we're gonna check in on you, but if you check in on us, we'll respond to you.
Yeah, hopefully, just check in on us. Hopefully, we want you guys to check in on us.
Yes.
All right. But as always, my name is Jomel Socorro.
My name is Jarron Gaddis.
And we are the Wanna Be Boo podcast, bringing the latest and greatest game and anime news, reviews, and waifus for life.
Thanks for listening, guys, and we'll talk to you next time.